Hi YouTube, this is Rose and I'm making this video so I can read this article to you. Characteristics of a psychopath. I'm going to read almost all of it. Qualities of a psychopath. Someone who is described as a psychopath will have several traits that set them apart from those with no personality disorders. These traits include the following. Now let's go over that really quick. See, that's the difference. Some people have no personality disorders. Psychopath is a personality disorder. Lack of empathy, inability to feel sympathy for others or to understand the emotional consequence of their action. Cold, calculating nature, the ability and willingness to use others around them to personal gain. Shallow emotions, lack of real emotion to respond to events, limited capability to feel love. Narcissism, a personality disorder in which the individual feels strong love and admiration towards himself on a defense mechanism against deep-seated low esteem. Grandiose self-image. They might see themselves as someone who is superior to others and sometimes even experience delusions. The psychopath might see themselves as a fitting ruler of a country or even the world, but might also have delusion beliefs as seeing themselves as a god or like God or people in the Bible and having superpowers. Charming. While a psychopath is unable to fully understand the emotion of others, they are capable but rather highly apt at mimicking them and might appear to be charming and normal at first. High IQ. Often sociopaths will exhibit a high IQ, which they can use to manipulate and plan. Manipulative. Psychopaths use their superficial charm and high IQ to manipulate others to get their ends, and lack empathy allows them to do this with no sense of guilt or remorse. Secretive. Has little need for others and is highly secretive in their actions, meaning sexual deviant. The lack of remorse, guilt, or emotional attachments means that the psychopath is happy to have affairs and to engage in questionable sexual activity without questioning their desires. Sensitive to criticism. That said, like a narcissist, the psychopath will desire approval of others and will be highly sensitive to criticism. They often feel they deserve adulation and admiration of the world and might feel victimized. Paranoid. Often their lack of understanding of emotion along with their incongruent self-view means that they feel lack of trust and paranoid. Despotic. Authoritarian. Often the sociopath will see themselves as necessary authority and will be in favor or totalitarian rule. Lawlessness. Despite the popular belief, a psychopath is not likely to be a problem to the law in later life, but rather will seek to find loopholes to raise to a position of power or to move to another area so that their behavior is tolerated. Low tolerance for boredom. Psychopaths require constant stimulation and get quickly bored. Impulsive behavior. A lack of regret or empathy means psychopaths are more likely to make sudden rash decisions based on current facts. Compulsive lying. As a part of their facade and a means to the end, the psychopaths are compulsive liars and will rarely speak truthfully, making them hard to pin down. Psychopaths, of course, vary in their symptoms and might act differently in cases. However, the main traits is presenting themselves as having the same empathy and emotions as others when in fact they lack this emotional capability and thus are cold and manipulative and rarely see any problem with their actions. Profile of a psychopath. A psychopath is likely to have been a problem child and exhibited difficult behavior when younger. As they grow older, they are likely to be highly successful, which is the result of their willingness to get one over on the competition and colleagues, a desire and a belief in success, the lack of risk aversion. Thus, they are likely to be found in positions of stockbrokers, CEOs, and even politicians. Many despotic rulers, or as Gaddafi, could be described as a psychopath. Alternatively, a psychopath might be likely to live on the fringes of society, having little interest in people. They can be seen as eccentric and most likely independently wealthy. In other words, they will either conquer the system or avoid it entirely. They will, of course, have few close friends and are more likely to make contacts with those they can use and those they see as equals, or those that they see as equals and that they can admire. And some can't never find anybody that they see as equal. That's me interceding. They will tend to be cold and manipulative in relationships and potentially emotionally abusive, though this might not necessarily be purposely vindictive. In all cases, though, the psychopath will appear highly intelligent, charming, charismatic to talk to, and it's only careful guardedness that can uncover their true motivation. Difference between a sociopath and a psychopath. There is a little agreed difference between the sociopath and the psychopath, but some sociopaths agree that, psychiatrists agree that sociopaths are more calculating, measured in their actions. The psychopath will be more likely to construct a complex scheme or plan and to carry it out, whereas the psychopath is more driven by impulsivity. The sociopath is more driven by impulsivity. That makes the psychopath more likely to commit crimes, and generally the term psychopath is used more generally to describe the criminally insane than rather just the lack of empathy. I will leave the link, and thank you so much for your time. Bye.